Mr. Graham, we are on to the fourth round of the FA Cup, baby.
A little less magical than the third round, but magical nonetheless.
Hey, you know what? Our boys Chorley are still in it, so I'd say that's pretty fucking magical, isn't it?
Come on.
Fucking love it. Well, we're going to talk all about the League 2, League 1 sides, and of course Chorley as well, and tell you all about the magic of the cup that is still alive. Let's go ahead and start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland, bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Huston.
Sam Huston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Snub of a lord. Looks great in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the Drunken United Football Show, a completely biased preview of the FA Cup as told by two common American schmucks. I'm your host, Sam Huston, and across the way from me is my illustrious host, Samuel Graham. Sammy, how we doing, brother?
Doing very, very well, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing pretty great, and you know, that's the old producer's trying to push that envelope right to the edge twice in a row. She keeps scaring me with that mute button action.
And we still have one more show to go.
I know.
Yeah, it's only going to go horribly wrong.
Correct.
Only going to go horribly wrong. We're recording at Studio H, just outside our nation's capital. You can check us out on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate, subscribe, review, and share with a footballing friend. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Sammy, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Absolutely. They can always find us on social media at DUfootballshow or via email at DUfootballshow@gmail.com.
Lovely. And Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show, breaking it up a little bit specifically because of one of the teams in the FA Cup.
Absolutely.
Sammy, what are we sipping on tonight?
So we've got Plymouth Gin, which is a style of gin out of England. This particular brand founded in 1793. It comes in at 41.2 proof. How much did you pay for it, my friend?
It was $39.99.
$39.99 on the shelf in a Maryland liquor store. So it was right here. You paid that.
Yep.
In 1620, the Mayflower set sail actually from Plymouth on a joiny.
Joiny. FA Cup preview show. We're on a joiny.
My fucking Yosemite Sam or whatever. The pig one. Why am I forgetting that? Porky Pig. I'm on a joiny, bunny. Fuck. On a journey of hope and discovery. There you go.
It's made at the
straight from their bottle, made at the Black Friars Distillery,
which is the oldest distillery the oldest legal distillery in England. And Plymouth Gin is a specific style of gin. In fact, Plymouth,
although this brand name is Plymouth Gin.
Yes, and it is a style of gin, and they are the only ones who make that style of gin. Specifically.
There you go. So do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
I was going to tell you about the cocktail that I made. So I still had a little bit of that pomegranate tangerine syrup that I had made the other day.
Yes.
So I took the gin, mixed it with that, a little bit of ginger beer, added some lavender bitters, and added some Earl Grey tea bitters to it as well to kind of round it out. So we have this lovely little cocktail. Figured since Plymouth Argyle is still in the FA Cup, we need to drink a little Plymouth Gin.
And have a chance as they play Sheffield United, which will come on in just a few, I'm sure.
God damn, I make a good drink. That turned out really well.
That's all right. Mel's already halfway done with hers.
Yeah.
Here we go, second out of three. Woo! More reasons to check out Injury Time.
That's right, which you can find at www.patreon.com/DUfootballshow, where we're all usually pretty sauced, and it's affectionately known as DU After Dark.
All right, good. What else should people do, Sammy?
They should sign up to the top two tiers to make sure they access Injury Time, as well as if they do the $9 tier, Mel, because 10's too much, they can find some other extras as well, and then we can remind them at that point to drink responsibly yet again.
Took you a long time to get there, whore, but you found your way.
That's why it's fun. I just figured, since we were down on the docks, I'd put on some blush because the boys like that.
And then there was 32 teams, Sam. Why don't you break down how the categorization goes for the remaining clubs in the FA Cup?
Absolutely. So we have 19 out of 20 Premiership clubs are still active.
No, I'm sorry. That's a typo. That is 14.
Oh, the 4 and 9 aren't even close together. How'd you do that?
Because I don't type notes well.
Nice. Sorry, there are 14 Premier League clubs. There are 11 championship teams, 3 from League One, 2 from League Two. And in the non-league realm, there's just one. Chorley motherfucking FC.
That's right, baby.
Okay.
Chorley!
Come on.
Up you magpies.
And don't forget, check out last week's Tuesday episode. We chatted with Ben, the now very famous groundskeeper from Chorley FC, and Kitman.
Absolutely. And follow our Twitter and go see the pinned tweet that has the link to be able to go buy a virtual ticket to help this club out. Remember, non-league side, they're going to be hosting a Premier League club. This is normally when they would make a lot of money, enough money to pay the bills for the year. So
yes,
they aren't getting that. So what we need to do is, as fans, support them and let them know that they're important to the fabric of football. And let's buy, it's 10 fucking pound. It's 12 fucking 50. Go buy a fucking ticket. It's not that hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then watch the match on ESPN Plus.
I'll be buying my ticket tonight to help the club out.
Excellent. And what's up for the final spot that's going on, Sammy?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, there is a game that was postponed from last round. So in the midweek this week, Southampton will be taking on Shrewsbury Town to see who plays Arsenal.
Very good. Let's take a quick look at the clubs of note that, namely our clubs, and one other game worth mentioning. Everton will be hosting Sheffield Wednesday, or as the Blades like to say, fuck the house. The final spot.
Sheffield Wednesday.
Like you said, the final spot will be hosting Arsenal. And then from last weekend, Man U will host Liverpool in the FA Cup, which I imagine because it's a knockout game, they might not play the strongest of lineups, the two sides, but they're going to have a go. I think it'll be a much more open game than the league match was. That's for damn sure.
I think they'll go after it as well.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into the remaining clubs that are in the lower divisions. We first off, of course, have Chorley versus Wolves. They're hosting. We have Sheffield United hosting Plymouth Argyle. We have Doncaster traveling to West Ham. We have Shetland Town welcoming Man City. Always seems funny that Man City always gets like League Two opposition in the 4th and 5th round somehow.
Yep.
Every fucking time. Bournemouth will be hosting Crawley Town, and Brighton will be hosting Blackpool.
Well, I would say that it was rigged, but it was Peter Crouch that did the draw this time. And that man couldn't rig anything if he tried.
No, he couldn't. He could not. So
There's no way.
So for Chorley, I mean, this is a big fucking deal. There's only 10 teams in total. I'm sorry, it was last week I said 10 teams that have made it to the 4th round. It's actually 16 non-league sides that have made it to the 4th round, but only 10 of those since the 1900s have made it to the 5th round.
Right.
One of those teams did it twice, which we'll talk about a little bit later on, which is pretty interesting. But this is huge for Chorley, man. This is absolutely huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And I cannot drive home enough to visit our Twitter at DUfootballshow. And there is a pinned tweet right at the top of our page that has the link to support Chorley by buying a virtual ticket. There are also donation options, and that sort of thing. Visit their club shop. Do whatever you can do to help this club out. They need it desperately. As a non-league side, I don't think they've been playing football.
No, they have been. They've been playing.
They have been.
Yeah.
Okay, good. But they're
not earning any money. There's
correct.
no gate. There's no nothing.
There's no gate, and that's all that they really have. I mean, they have local advertisers, but they don't get television games. They don't get televised games. This is their televised situation, is the FA Cup.
Yep.
And they really do desperately need all of our support, and now we know somebody that works there.
Yeah.
And we want that guy to keep his job. So make sure you support the club, please.
And, at the end of the day, it is a Premier League club they're playing.
I think they have a chance here.
They can't score. Wolves can't score goals right now.
Well, besides that, Nuno doesn't like to rotate a lot. This will be an opportunity, and the league campaign is going a bit off the rails at the moment, especially losing to lowly West Brom. I think that Nuno actually rests some of his players and gets them a break in this game. I think Chorley have an opportunity here to do something.
There's a chance. There's absolutely a chance.
And they're hosting them. And no disrespect to Ben, obviously, but the budget for non-league, League One, League Two teams for their field isn't tremendous.
He spent an entire week trying to get the snow and frost off of his pitch, including an entire 24-hour session of him staying awake with heaters on the corners trying to keep that fucking field ready to go. Removing the tents from the field less than 30 minutes from fucking kickoff, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, all the while drinking Guinness. I mean, coffee. But, the rumors were the Guinness, but Ben cleared that up, and it was definitely coffee that was in his cup while he slept on the pitch, took his little nap.
And they had 2 games this past week. So, like, it's not like it slowed down for him. It's not like it stopped snowing up there in the Northwest.
No, my point is that it won't be the pristine, fucking gorgeous, untouched, beautiful pitches of the Premier League that these players are used to. Yeah. And or their training facilities are used to, and that sort of stuff for some of the young kids, I'm sure, that are going to play for Wolves. The idea is that is the great equalizer. If they cannot play the slick passing, beautiful football that they're meant to play, that gives Chorley every opportunity. This is their home patch. They know this field. They know every bump, bobble, and ditch in the thing. And they will find, I think, they very possibly will find a way past Wolves in this one. I think this is going to be a game that everyone should absolutely watch.
It's the afternoon game on Friday. No competition with it. It'll be 3:00 on ESPN Plus.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait. It should be on fucking ESPN. They're cunts and we know about it.
Yeah. The other fun part of about going to a visiting, a non-league side is that it's not going to be a very pretty clubhouse. Now we talk about in the Prem how they do kind of an clubhouse. At least it has heat,
floors,
right? Ben said it's a square stone room with no heat and a pink physio's table with holes in it.
Yep.
That is their away dressing room.
Well, what was the team Arsenal played years ago that I keep referencing? Sutton Town.
Yep.
That I keep referencing. I think their changing room floor was dirt.
Yeah.
I don't think they had a floor.
Yeah, there you go.
I think they only put the walls up. And it was just a very uncomfortable wood bench for them to sit on with some coat hangers on the wall. It's definitely different from what Wolves are used to.
Absolutely.
Is the point. And anything that they can do to unsettle them will play in their favor, surely. And we can only hope. I mean, besides obviously my club, besides Arsenal winning the fucking thing, I'm Chorley through and through for this competition. I'd love to see them in the final. I
was going to say, because, well, that means they have to go through you, because in the 5th round, they get the winner of you.
Oh, is that who?
Southampton, Shrewsbury Town.
Is that who? That's all. I'd love to do that, though. I'd love to do that. Get Ben back on to banter with me for a bit.
Absolutely.
I'd love
get
that.
you two talk a little shit.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, we told him he was going to turn down the going to do the pitch at Wembley, because he'd be like, nah, we're just going to get there on our own, mate. We'll be all right.
Don't worry about it.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into the next one. Plymouth Argyle finds themselves traveling to Sheffield United. If you're going to pull a Prem side, you're pulling the right fucking side. And also, mind you, Plymouth did just beat Huddersfield Town 3-2 in the FA Cup. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Plymouth Argyle?
Yeah, absolutely. They were established in 1886, surprisingly, because the gin was already available. So,
yay!
Surprised they had the wits about them to get that admin done to actually set the club up. They are known as the Pilgrims, obviously, for having the Mayflower departed from there. Mm-hmm. They are in League One. Their home park is nicknamed the Theatre of Greens.
Because their home park is named Home Park. That is the name of their stadium. It's
Nice.
Home Park.
Yeah.
So you got to have a fancier name. When you have the most generic stadium name ever, Home Park, got to give it something fun.
This is our home park.
And I wrote it like that.
What's it called?
I wrote it like
Home
that.
Park.
I wrote it like that because I knew you'd fuck it up. And that's what was so brilliant about it.
That's very funny. That's very funny. Their rival is Exeter City. They had a nice spell in the championship for about 6 seasons until the team went into administration and found them fall all the way down to League Two, which happens all the time.
Yeah,
or used to happen all the time.
You will see that as a theme throughout all of these notes are teams that went into administration.
Absolutely. They eventually got their act together and won promotion last season back to League One. They currently sit in 15th place.
Very good.
Park.
One of those things that's worth mentioning too. When we talk about, everybody's expecting the lower leagues are expecting the Prem to bail them out right now. It's one of those scenarios where you go, do they deserve to be bailed out? Because these teams get poorly run all the fucking time. And while it's important for the spine and the backbone of what professional football is, at the same cause, it's like, is it really? I mean, do they just deserve to constantly be bailed out over and over and over again? And I think that's why, not defending what Liverpool and Manchester United did with the little stunt they tried to pull, but I get that's why they go, oh, okay, you want our money? Well, then we have a say in what you fucking do.
Yeah. So financial fair play didn't come into the league system until, 4 years ago, 5 years ago? Something like that?
Yeah, thereabouts.
And the sanctions for which weren't even enforced until about 3 years ago when we started the show.
Right.
So it's hard to say these previous owners and these older people in the game don't that fuck these clubs up. Is it the club's fault that now they have to reap that?
Right.
I have a hard time with that.
Yeah. I feel like these are...
because the laws weren't in place. The rules weren't in place. They overspent to try to get promoted and get a bigger piece of the pie.
Yeah.
When they failed, they didn't have any money left.
These are unprecedented times.
What do you do?
I think it's unprecedented times with COVID, but I think once you get out on the other side of this, you just need to hold these smaller clubs to a little bit more responsibility.
Absolutely.
And you can't keep bailing them out. And
no, I'm with you there, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
So, but
I mean, they can go the way of the Portsmouth, they can go the way of Rangers.
Yeah,
liquidate the fucking company and start a new one.
Yeah, precisely.
Do what you got to do.
All over it again.
Yeah, maybe train your footballers a little bit better and then sell them on for a profit. Imagine that.
Yeah. So the game itself, though, I mean, Plymouth's got every in this one. In fact, the only thing you kind of, being that both of our clubs are in it, exactly what I want to see happen is I want Plymouth to win, because I don't want Sheffield to then have only one thing to care about, which is the FA Cup. Because when you have a team that's having a horrible season, right? You saw this with like Wigan. They suddenly become unbeatable in the FA Cup and they become worldies. And it always seems like you're like, all right, we fought our way here. We're in the quarterfinals. Fuck me, we're playing fucking Sheffield.
Yep.
And it's all
and
they
Sheffield
care
are
about.
in such a bad way at the moment. I really do think Plymouth has a chance in this game. I would love to see both Plymouth and Chorley go through. That'd be great. We'd have a reason to drink the rest of this bottle of gin.
Yeah, very good. All right, so let's move on to the next one. We have Doncaster heading to West Ham. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Doncaster?
Sure. They were established in 1879, just a few short years before Plymouth. They are the Rovers, or referred to as Donny. They're in League One as well, and they play at the Keep Moat Stadium. Because you got to keep your moat.
Yeah, keep your moat.
Or somebody's going to get in.
Exactly.
I guess.
Keep an eye on that shit.
Yep. Their rival is Rotherham United, who just beat somebody, I heard today.
They just lost to Everton in the FA Cup. I don't know
but they just... who'd they beat? Derby County at the weekend.
Okay.
Wayne Rooney now the manager of, by the way.
Yep.
They won 1-0.
He officially retired.
Against Derby. Yeah, because they were their coach was Philip Koku, I think, the former Dutch international. He got canned. Rooney was assistant manager / player, retired on Friday and got given the full manager's job.
Yep.
So, but anyway, Rotherham beat him. He started off in unenthusiastic 1-0 loss.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah. Also, Doncaster had a nice spell in the championship for about 5 seasons until they fell to League Two in 2016, but quickly gained promotion back to League One. And they have a couple of mascots, Donny Dog and Eric the Viking.
Because they have
kind of opposite.
They have a Viking on their crest, and all I can think of is the Timothy Robbins movie of Eric the Viking that I had told you about before.
Right.
It's all I could think about when I saw that. I was like, I have to add that just for my own personal giggles.
Gotcha. And also, last little tidbit about them, Louis Tomlinson from One Direction is their most famous supporter. They are also currently in 4th place.
And
In
what
League
do,
One.
what do we know of Louis Tomlinson?
I actually don't know anything about the guys from One Direction.
He's the one that isn't Harry Styles.
Oh,
Which there's 4 of them that aren't Harry Styles.
yeah.
I just want it for the record. Your co-host, Big Sam, knows more about this than I do.
Yep.
It's called
Whatever inferences you want to make from that, you will be more than happy to. Get in touch at DUfootballshow on all the social medias, at DUfootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email about Big Sam's love affair with One Direction.
It's called research, bitches. It's called research. All right, so let's go into the next one. Man City with the luckiest draw ever because it's just, it's Patrick Ewing and the New York Knicks. It's the cold fucking envelope. They just know when to pull it. So tell us about Cheltenham. Is it Cheltenham Town or Cheltenham Town?
Cheltenham.
Cheltenham Town.
So Cheltenham Town was established in 1887. They go by the Robins because they have a robin on their badge.
Very original.
Correct. They are in League 2. They play at Wadden Road, Whadden. Their rivals are Gloucester City and Forest Green Rovers. Those 2 derbies have been dubbed El Glossico, I guess because they're in the Gloucester area.
Yep.
They dropped out of League 2 in 2015, but went right back up, finishing 1st and beating 2nd place Forest Green Rovers in the final of the playoffs to get back into the Football League. They currently sit in 6th place.
It wasn't playoff. It was they finished 1st and Forest Green finished 2nd.
Oh, it said in the final.
Yeah, my mistake there. My
All right.
apologies. All the notes aren't going to be perfect, If you like the notes to be better, guess what?
Write it myself?
Why don't you write them your fucking self?
Nope. So I don't care. That is admin I cannot afford to do.
So the next one is Bournemouth's actually flying in the championship right now and is put themselves in a scenario where they could win promotion again. These are always
You know why? You know who's back?
why?
Jack Wilshere.
Oh, that's going to fix everything. Yeah, I mean the 2.5
It's gonna solidify
the 2.5
where
games
they're
he
at.
plays. It'll be awesome. So
Absolutely.
but we talked about this last year in the FA Cup. And even that the season before. Those teams that are on their way and cruising in the championship are sometimes the most dangerous teams to face in the FA Cup because they're on fire and they're rolling.
Absolutely. Did we just skip over because we both think City's going to win?
Oh yeah,
Is
City's
that
gonna
it?
win.
Is that all right? Because you went on and started talking about Bournemouth and we hadn't said shit about the game.
City takes these tournaments very seriously. Pep always takes all competitions incredibly seriously.
It's easy to do when you have 22 world-class players.
Right.
You have a full second team to start for real.
Yeah, but remember he needed 5 subs in the middle of the season there. So
That was Jurgen.
yeah, but no, he was bitching for it
Oh,
too.
was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
Bald
ahead.
fraud.
But tell us a little bit about Crawley Town, and then like I said, with Bournemouth, you gotta like.
Yeah, I like the chances here, obviously.
And that's a
But
team you got to like their chances later on in the cup as well.
Potentially, yeah, definitely. I do think, though, that Bournemouth especially will be much more focused on the league. So that may be something that that gets looked at, especially as the competition goes on and on. Now, if they maintain their league form, then fine, whatever.
Right.
But if they don't, they may sacrifice the cup in the later stages. I think they will beat Crawley Town, but we'll come on to that in a second.
So when you get ready to talk about the notes on Crawley Town, I said that there was a club who, when they were a non-league side, had a magical cup run. This one had 2.
There you go. They were established in 1896. They are known as the Red Devils. I think that's already been taken. They are in League 2. They play at the Broadfield Stadium. Their rival is Wimbledon. 1999 found them going into administration and dropping out of the league. And during that time, they twice advanced to the 5th round of the Cup. Wow.
twice.
Good for them. That's awesome.
And get the first run. You'll love this first run. You'll remember this game.
The first one in 2011, they beat Derby County, Torquay United, and lost their 5th round game at home 1-0. I do remember this game to Sir Alex Ferguson's Manchester United.
Sir Alex's Man U lost 1-0 non-league side. That was like, I want to say it was like an 80.
No. They lost in the 5th round to Manchester United. Yeah.
At home to Sir Alex's Man U. I think it was like in like 85th, 88. I mean, it was like.
It was a late goal. I do remember that game.
It was all 11 stayed inside the 18 and they just went, fuck you, try. It was fantastic.
Yeah, they were trying to get the replay at the
get that
big
motherfucking
ground.
payday. Hell
Damn
yeah.
straight, absolutely. And then in 2012, a year later, they beat Bristol, Hull City, and then lost to Stoke City 2-0 in the 5th round.
And that's when Stoke was still a Premier League
team,
side as well.
Yep. They just sold their top goal scorer Max Waters to Cardiff, who had 13 goals in 15 games. That are currently in 8th place. Seems like a very West Ham move to do that.
Yeah, that's here's one thing you always have to remember about League One and League Two, particularly League One. You don't want your guys to be that great because if they are, the championship is definitely going to come pluck them.
Yeah,
you get 13 and 15, you ain't staying at the team because also the player themselves is going to be like, I want the fucking move.
Fuck you, pay. Well, not even that. Fuck you, pay me.
Right, because I'll go to the championship.
We don't have any money. We're in League One.
Because I just scored 13 and 15 here. God forbid I go to the championship and score 10 in 18. I might fancy myself a fucking spot in the Prem.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The player has to think about themselves.
For sure.
In that
Look
regard.
at Jamie Vardy was playing for Fleetwood Town.
Well,
and then getting the Golden Boot 2 out of the last 3 seasons, or 2 out of the last 5 seasons, or whatever it is, for Leicester.
An example would be we saw that in Sunderland Till I Die. They had great young player who was on fire in the first half of the season and just forced to move.
Got sold in January, and then they couldn't score after that.
But in those players, they gotta you can't stay in League One. If you're a young player and you're successful and there's an opportunity to fucking move, you have to move. And your agent is doing the right thing. They're getting you to fucking move.
For sure.
So I think this is definitely a Bournemouth win. You couple that with the fact that the guy who's scoring all your fucking goals is
now gone. Yeah. I would agree with that.
And then the final match that we're going to talk about has Blackpool going to Brighton. So one coastal town all the way up in the northwest going the northeast going all the way down to the southwest.
Yeah. Blackpool was established in 1887. They are known as the Seasiders, the Pool, and the Tangerines because of their oddly colored shirts.
Bright orange and white stripes.
League One side now. They were a former Premier League side under Ian Holloway.
For one magical season.
Yep.
They went from League 2 to League 1 to Championship to Premier League, and then went right back down to Championship to League 1 to League 2.
Well, they got they fired Ian Holloway after they got relegated.
Yep.
The original Bald Fraud.
Yeah.
And then went to Paul Ince, actually, I think was their manager for a bit. I might have that wrong, though.
I think you're right.
I might be confusing them with Wolves.
No, I think it was Paul Ince.
Yeah. One of the first, not one of the first, actually might have been one of the first black managers in the championship, potentially. But anyway, and then he couldn't sustain it. He got canned because he went right back down to League One as well. They also sold a couple of players in that time. But
they've always been traditionally a League One side pretty much over the history of the club.
I mean, they're a resort town. They don't have a tremendous amount of support.
And what was very fun about them, the year that they were in the Prem, they just went, fuck it, we know we're only here for once. So they went balls to the wall and were like losing games 4-3 every week. It was fucking fantastic.
It was great.
They're like, holy shit, Blackpool's up on Manchester United 4-0 in the first 20 minutes. How'd they lose 8-4? They were fun as hell to watch. That is for damn sure.
Yeah, as you said, they're in League One. They play at Bloomfield Road. Their rivals are Preston North End, which is the West Lancashire Derby, and recently Fleetwood Town in the Flyde Coast Derby.
Filed.
Oh, you wrote Flyde.
Filed. Sorry. FC filed. I thought you would have gotten that. My apologies for mistyping.
No problem.
A better broadcasting professional would have been able to read through that.
I just read it. Sorry. Anyway,
You know what,
Blackpool
Mel?
has mostly been a League 1 to 2 side.
Pushy is spelt with an H and not 2 S's, but you should be able to work through that, right?
I mean, I do. You put all sorts of wrong words in my copy, and I don't stutter.
Never heard of the Filed Coast. So I didn't know, or the Flied Coast. I didn't know what they have weird names for
we
shit.
We talked about Filed FC before.
Maybe.
Yeah, okay.
It's in the cabinet.
We talked about them in the last. We talked about them in the last FA Cup show because FC Filed is Chorley's biggest rival.
I was very drunk.
So that's great to know that you've been keeping track on that. Good job. We know who Ben's
I was very drunk.
We know who Ben's real friend is.
Last show.
Yeah.
Blackpool has mostly been a League 1 to League 2 side. But they did have one epic run in 2011 and found themselves in the Premier League, making them one of the smallest clubs to achieve that status. I remember them almost needing to rearrange a couple of games because they couldn't meet the attendance requirements. Because they had to build a new stand because they were coming up to the Premier League.
Unfortunately for them, the money they made had to go into the stadium.
Right.
And when they went down, they weren't going to fill the stadium.
No. They then dropped all the way down to League 2 until gaining promotion to League 1 in 2017 and are currently in 14th position.
It's good because see, there also, Mel, Sam decided to add, do his own admin and riff, and then turned around and repeated the exact same notes that I had written when he said it beforehand. So that was good.
Yeah, but he did say them better than you wrote them.
Oh, that's true. I'll give him that one.
See, I'm playing both sides today.
See, you give Graham a little bit of credit for being right, and then he fucks it right off.
This is outrageous. You're supposed to be on my side here.
I mean, I am on your side. Absolutely, 100% until I'm on his side.
This is like his tried and true system.
It's exactly his tried and true system.
30% of the time I agree with you. 30% of the time I go against it. And 30% of the time I'm playing my fucking island game.
Yep. And all that is 100% of the time.
And 30% of the time I do better than you do. Because you only do well about what? 5% of the time?
Nah, I'm pretty good.
No. $1,000 would say you're not really good. $4,000 last year would say you're not really good.
Get it right. 969.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
3-way, baby.
You know what? Find your Zen place, get on your Peloton, and just ride till it doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, I fucked that off too. Didn't realize how out of shape I was. That's pretty bad.
Okay, well, you know what? Here's a great opportunity. Sam, any parting words?
Sure. I'm tremendously out of shape, and I was so depressed about it. I drank 5 beers, a bottle of wine during dinner in the Ravens game on Saturday night after my first workout.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so I think
back on your ass is going to happen. Back on your ass is going to happen.
I probably tipped the scales to the wrong way there in terms of the old calorie intake.
I'm barely going to have to spend any money, and I'm going to get D-back tattooed on your ass. It's going to be fucking amazing.
Nah, it's after tonight. It's getting serious.
Oh, after tonight, it's getting serious. Brilliant. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up, boys and girls. Enjoy all the weekend's action for the FA Cup. We'll be back on Monday with a recap of all of the FA Cup and the lone Villa Newcastle game as well, as we will have already recapped all the midweek on the midweek. So, until next time, everybody.
Guten Nacht.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Huston.
Sam Huston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Hit the fucking mute button!